those areas where I see like a lot of nuance. I'm very gray on it. Like
Great
I'm
man.
not quite sure in which way I lean because I believe a man who don't take care of his kids, bit of a deadbeat. But I also can understand there's a situation where a man does communicate before like even sex happens. So hey,
Yeah.
I don't want children. Children is not in my plan right now, and we both consent to lay down with a condom or without contraception. If we both consent to that and the
Mm,
risk of that, and we both consent, like there's liability on both parties. And just
mm.
like a woman can say, "Hey, it is my body, it's my choice. I'm gonna go through with this baby. I'm gonna go through with this child
Or not.
and this
If you want to
pregnancy."
have the kid and she's like,
Yeah,
I'm not
or
doing
not.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, because like as a man,
Scoop it,
like you
scoop it.
legit, you can't like, and I know a lot of red pill
Mm,
niggas use this ideology, but that's true. A nigga cannot in a state where abortions are actually available, and a
mm.
woman can just do that. A dude cannot come between her legally come between
Legally,
her and
legally.
that
Yeah.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
without violating some law of like kidnap, blah 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 blah.
Sure.
But so there's got to be like some leeway or compromise in the other direction. And I guess that's where like the whole financial abortion things come from.
Yeah.
Because once again, hey, I'm not consenting to a child, just like you have the right to not consent to having one and bearing one, incubating one, producing one, delivering one.
Yeah.
But overall, if there's two consenting adults, obviously to sex, right? The argument I believe Alva was saying is if the man is telling the girl that he does not consent to having a kid or wanting a kid, that and they're in agreement of that and they have sex with a condom or without a condom or without any contraceptive, that the man, you shouldn't hold him to that. That the man, he said he didn't want a kid, the female decided to still have sex with him, so you shouldn't hold him to be responsible for the kid. I disagree completely. I disagree completely. And I'll say this anytime anytime and a man or woman are consenting to sex, if there are no contraceptives and the man says, hey, regardless, I'm letting you know right now, I don't want a kid. So if you get her pregnant, I'm not going to be responsible. It's bullshit. As a man, if you're engaging in sexual activity with a female without any contraceptive, and you know the risk associated with that, and you still do it, you're responsible for the fucking kid if the female wants it or not. That's how I see it. Because I don't know why we got men out here that for whatever reason don't understand that you don't need to nut to get a girl pregnant. Pre comes a bitch. Nutting sucks if you're not good at pulling out. So the fact that there's men out here that feel that they can have sex with a girl without protection, without birth control, and them saying, hey, I don't want a kid, so if you get pregnant, that should be enough. I'm not going to be in that kid's life. You a deadbeat. You a bum. You're a piece of shit. And that's how I'm going to view any man that has a kid, that engages in these acts and doesn't want to be responsible for it. You should have stayed celibate, which is crazy for some people to hear. Like, whoa, you're telling grown men that they shouldn't have sex. That way they don't have to be responsible for a kid. Who the fuck do you think you are? I'm him. I'm Alexander. But more importantly, yeah, it's immature, it's reckless, and it's stupid. Because as a man, to any guys watching this right now, y'all might disagree, you're stupid. Anytime you're having sex with a chick, especially if there's no contraceptive so far, because that's what I'm saying, no condoms, no nothing, you're having sex, but you're trying to tell her, I don't want no kid, I'm not going to be in charge of a kid, you're responsible for that shit, because you should know better. You don't want to risk a kid, you don't want to risk being responsible for a kid, hey, you got two hands, do something with them. It's risk-free. Risk-free. That's how I view that. Definitely completely disagree with that notion. Fuck out of here. Hey, I don't agree to raising a kid, but I'm still have sex with you. And I'm going to abandon you and let you raise the kid alone, continuing this cycle of boys and girls living without their fathers, causing further trauma, causing this shit to continue on. It's fucking bullshit, dog. Now, the argument for, all right, what if two consenting adults have sex? Birth control, condom being used, birth control, and you have this conversation of, hey, I don't want to be responsible for the kid if you end up getting pregnant. You understand I'm wearing a condom. I understand you're on the pill. I don't want a kid out of this. I don't want to be responsible for one. I feel this part of the conversation is a bit tricky because ultimately, somehow, God forbid, the condom fails. The birth control's 99% rate. Whoa, if we go into the 1%, with a 1% rate that actually doesn't work. All right, let's just say, for example, shit, that sperm, an Olympic champion. That man has been swimming his whole life, maximum. Is a super soldier breaching through, getting to that egg. You ain't never seen a sperm cell like this in your life. That sperm golden. Gets the girl pregnant. Now, I say this is tricky because, the man and the female. The man did his part with a contraceptive. The girl did her part with birth control. But now the man's saying, hey, I still don't want to be involved. You knew the deal. I don't want the kid. You agreed to it. I'm not going to be responsible for it. I'm not going to shame the man too hard. Like the man in this situation, I'm not going to shit on him completely because he tried to do everything in his part to not have a kid. I'm not going to say that you're stupid, but if you did to go through every path possible to not have a kid. But unfortunately, should the girl want to keep it, you got a decision to make. Do you want to be a deadbeat? Even if you took the necessary steps? Or are you going to step up to the unfortunate consequences? Now, I know for some of y'all hearing this is like, shit, it's technically if the guy doesn't want, it's a lose-lose. Well, duh. No shit. And an argument that Eddie and Alvin discuss on this is a lot of people, for the most part, have sex for pleasure, which is true. There are, unfortunately, undesirable outcomes that you got to deal with, that you do got to deal with. It isn't fun. It sucks. It could, for some people, it's a blessing. For some people, it's unfortunate, they didn't pan out for this. But one thing I could confidently say is if you're not using no contraceptive whatsoever as a man and you don't want a kid, you 100% are asking for a kid. Unless you have an issue where you produce no sperm and you having sex raw, you a bum for not expecting to have a kid out of that and then not wanting to be responsible. Now, for the guys that are doing everything in your power, do not get the girl pregnant. And, I want you saying that by you having sex raw with her, you're all consenting to the sex that, hey, if you get pregnant, I'm not going to be responsible. Unfortunately, the reality is that's not going to hold up. Now, to add, I feel an additional part of this conversation that I felt didn't really get discussed on waving the red flag was, all right, let's say, for the contraceptive route, how is it going to be handled as far as the discussion of having the kid or an abortion? Because I find that a lot of the conversation online, I want to say that online, is that a man has no voice when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to abortions, that a man has no voice. Solely the female, solely the woman. I would like to say that kind of view are for people in unhealthy relationships or in an immature mindset. Because the way I view it, the way I feel it's healthy and mature is the man has a voice when it comes to a pregnancy, when it comes to abortion discussions. The man has a voice. It is very important for a man to have a voice with the female. Because ultimately, this could potentially be the dad, the father for the rest of the life. However, the choice is up to the female. I think that's an important thing to know here. a man does have a voice in regards to pregnancy and abortions. He has a voice. The final decision is up to the female. And for us guys right now, for us, unfortunately, that's the truth. There's probably been some men out there that really wanted a kid, but the girl said nope and did her thing. It probably hurt them, but it's her choice. And there's probably some other men that's just like, hey, I didn't want a kid, and you're still pushing to have it. Well, unfortunately, buddy, she has the final say. She does. So overall, these situations that us men get, when we get put in these situations, like, damn, it almost sounds like a lose-lose. It's like, yeah, yeah, which is important to, stay strapped up. When it comes to your partner, really trust them a bit. I'm not gonna sit here and say you need to have a checklist with you with every female about, all right, your birth control. Well, what about this? How do you feel about pulling out? There's certain things that just happen. But if you going reckless, crazy, no protection, no nothing, no discussions about this, and you don't want to be a dad, you stupid. You a deadbeat if you're not responsible for the kid. Fuck we agreed and it was consensual sex. I didn't want to be the father, so I shouldn't raise it because I said so. You shouldn't have acted. Then you damn right you should have been celibate. You shouldn't have been having sex. Again, left and right hand. And unfortunately, even if you followed and did everything the best you can and got an undesirable outcome, that's where you got to step up. That's where we rise and shine to be the leaders that we got to be.